The newest enemy in the wake of the invasion of Super Earth is the horrifying machine animal, the Leviathan. The Leviathan is a large, slow-moving aerial vehicle that is mounted with plasma turrets and plasma bombs. It is the most annoying and difficult enemy on the Illuminate front at this point in time. Today, I'm going to break down what the Leviathan is, what it does, how it spawns, and how best to combat it. So, let's get right into it. The Leviathan is a massive floating warcraft that can hit you from above with fatal plasma strikes. But what is it? There isn't much information on it at this point, and I doubt we will get much more. So, a lot of this will be my best guess based on what I have personally observed on the battlefield. It looks very similar to the Chitauri Leviathan, which makes sense, being Leviathan in name, from the Avengers movies, the first one. Both possess plasma weapons on the sides, both seemingly levitate off the ground by unknown source, and both are heavily armored. The Helldivers 2 Leviathan seems to be some kind of animal that has been harnessed by the Illuminate to cause mass destruction. When damaged, it will emit a sort of animalistic wailing noise, something like a whale being injured. Furthermore, there is a large splatter of dark purple liquid that is given off when it's destroyed, possibly its blood. It's very similar to that of the Illuminate, like the Overseers when you shoot them and the blood that comes off of them when you kill them. And my best guess is the Leviathan, like the Illuminate and the Overseers specifically, was once a sea creature that evolved out and can now float and is again harnessed by the Overseers / Illuminate to be basically a weapon of war. Which is grim to think about, but that makes sense. It'd be like a war elephant from, ancient times and human civilization. That's kind of what this is, but a bit more insane. So, what does this vast creature ship thing do? The Leviathan roams the skies around the map at random, firing shots at any point it has an angle at you. They move slowly through the air, anywhere from roughly 50 to 300 meters in the air, in altitude off the ground, and they will circle the battlefield, crashing into buildings and raining down plasma until they are taken care of. They spawn at the edge of the map on levels 5 or higher, which is honestly ridiculous how low that is, and there can be a maximum of 3 of them at once. Meaning on level 5, you can have 3 Leviathans at once. Which is ridiculous. Now, yes, this is a nightmare. Don't try and ignore them because that will not do good. Now, they spawn on the normal missions. They also spawn on defense missions where you gotta hold the fortress. And they will spawn on the new Illuminate invasion, repelling invasion missions, which is, gosh, those missions are ridiculous how crazy and they're chaotic. Basically, level 10 repel invasion missions are little flyer nightmares. They're ridiculous. Now, them being on such a small map, again, is just a recipe for disaster. Their plasma cannons can fire shots at Helldivers from basically halfway across the big maps, and if they hit you at any point, it's pretty much a fatal shot unless it grazes you. But if it's a direct impact, you're dead. Just closed casket funeral, that's it. Sorry. You're dead. So, how are we to defeat such a strong enemy? First off, you're gonna have to fight them. That's just the way it is. They are way too deadly to just kind of ignore and just run away. I mean, you can, I guess, run away from them, but when there's 3 of them in the air, it kind of just gets a little too chaotic, and you really need to take care of them. Now, they can be dealt with. Yes, it sucks to deal with them, especially on level 10s when you have Voteless and Flesh Moms and Overseers coming at you from everywhere, and you gotta deal with this massive tank in the air. Now, I mean, and obviously there's the interloper as well, but you gotta deal with all this on top of a floating tank that will take a ton to deal because it has 15,000 health and is clad in tank armor. This means no primary weapons can take it out. Nothing with light, medium, or heavy armor piercing can take it out. You need anti-tank to even remotely damage this thing. Now, the best way I found to take care of it is the recoilless rifle. For a couple of reasons. One, recoilless rifle as well as the spear actually do damage to it. They do damage to the weak points, which I'll get to in a second. And the recoilless rifle specifically because of the team reload. The team reload allows for extremely fast fire rates, and you can deal with Leviathans in a couple seconds, probably like 10 to 15 seconds easily. Now, if you hit the weak points with the recoilless rifle, it will only take about 3 to 5 shots depending on accuracy. I think it's only about 3 shots if you hit it correctly, but still 3 to 5 shots to be safe. And the spear only has 4, and they do about the same amount of I said they did the same amount of damage. You won't be able to hit all the weak spots with the spear just because of the way it works. You will with the recoilless rifle. It takes about 6 shots with the spear, at least, sometimes 7 or 8, to even take it down, to even damage it sometimes. So it's not very, it doesn't make sense to use the spear as much. I mean, unless you're on a solo mission, I guess, but even then that doesn't work that well. Because again, you only have 4 shots. You have the one in the actual launcher, and then you have 3 in your backpack. So really, the spear doesn't work that well against the Leviathan. The Quasar is also not that great because of the cooldown. The cooldown really makes it not work because you get 1 shot, and then you gotta run around trying to avoid more plasma for like 10 seconds, and then take another shot. Whereas with recoilless, it's just shot, 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 shot. Oh, it's dead. Move on, go do your other thing. Now, one thing that is actually pretty good against it is the anti-tank emplacement, as that'll only take about half the magazine to take it out if you don't even hit a weak point. If you hit the weak point, it's about like a quarter or something like that. It's not too bad. The only problem is getting the anti-tank emplacements down. Those can really be a struggle sometimes because of the mass hordes approaching. It really sucks. But again, you really just gotta take them out as quick as possible. Now, side weak points are 3 large blue circles on the very bottom. They kind of run up and down the spine of the creature, but they're pretty obvious. And if you hit them with a recoilless rifle, they're like 1 shot each, and you have to hit all of them. Now, it's very hard to hit the back 2. The front one's actually pretty easy because it is quite large, but the back 2 are really hard to hit. So that's why about 3 to 5 shots is a pretty good, shot rate to take it out. So that's about what you want to do with that. And that, again, the recoilless rifle is what you want to use to take it down. It is already one of the better support weapons in the game, so I would just suggest taking it. At least 1 person in the mission, 1 person with the backpack and 1 person with the rifle, so you can, rapid fire shot off and deal with the Leviathans as quickly as possible. Now, once you've actually taken them down, you do need to be a little bit careful, as if you are beneath it, any Helldiver beneath it will be crushed. Just splat. You're dead. Uh-oh. Oh well. So be very careful of that when you've destroyed them. And with all of this knowledge that I have given to you, you should be able to go out there and destroy Leviathans. Maybe not very effectively at first, as it takes some practice to do this, but you should be able to take care of Leviathans efficiently pretty quickly after using all this, techniques. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more like it, then hit the subscribe button and give it a like too. I'd really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Remember, Helldivers, for Super Earth and managed democracy. I'll see you in the next one.